Now, what is HELLP syndrome? HELLP syndrome is a clinical manifestation of preeclampsia. It is seen in around 85% of cases. BP is increased along with proteinuria, while in 20% cases of the HELLP syndrome, BP is normal and there is no proteinuria. Incidence of HELLP syndrome is around 15 to 20%, although the incidence is much higher when there is more than one component present. 20 to 50% patients may have mild elevation in the liver enzyme even without a full-blown HELLP syndrome. Now we have already discussed these two criteria, that is Tennessee's criteria and the Mississippi classification. Tennessee's criteria includes H for hemolysis. So the signs of hemolysis 2 out of 5 should be present. Hemolysis means we have to send a peripheral blood smear in which Burr cells, histiocytes or helmet cells can be present. Now due to this hemolysis, serum haptoglobin levels are decreased less than 25 milligrams per deciliter. Serum bilirubin, mainly in conjugated bilirubin, is increased, that is more than 1.2 but less than 5. Severe anemia without identifiable cause, and LDH is increased around 600 international unit per ml. So 2 out of 5 features should be present. EL for elevated liver enzymes, that is serum transaminases more than 2 times of the normal value, and the low platelet count, LP, as the low platelet count less than 1 lakh. Now what is Mississippi classification? Mississippi classification is used for categorization of HELLP syndrome into mild, moderate and severe. Class 1 is severe while class 3 is mild. If the platelet count is less than 50,000, ALT AST is more than 70, LDH is more than 600, then this is the severe form of HELLP syndrome, and it is associated with increased maternal mortality and morbidity, and the risk of bleeding is around 13%. While if the platelet count is between 50,000 to 1 lakh, LDH is more than 600 and ALT AST is more than 70, then this is class 2 or the moderate HELP. Class 3 is mild where platelet count is more than 1 lakh, ALT AST is more than 40 and LDH is more than 600. It is milder form of the disease and it is not associated with maternal mortality and morbidity, and the risk of bleeding is also less. Now, the pathogenesis of HELLP syndrome is similar to preeclampsia. It occurs due to endothelial cell dysfunction, which is causing MAHA. MAHA is microangiopathic hemolytic anemia, intravascular coagulation, and the complement activation. And here, the complement activation is more as compared to preeclampsia. The risk factor includes a multigravida patients, while the preeclampsia is more common in primigravida patient. HELLP is seen in multigravida patients. Age more than 35 years is a risk factor, and obese females. Presentation usually presents at third trimester, that is 28 to 37 weeks of gestation, and the average gestational age is around 34 weeks but can also present in the postpartum period, that is within 48 hours of delivery. Patient can present with pain and other symptoms. The pain is the most common symptom and it occurs in the abdomen, usually epigastric pain or the right upper quadrant pain. Malaise 1 to 2 days prior to pain, sudden onset and rapid onset, and the tenderness is seen in the right upper quadrant. Now, hypertension is seen in 85% cases with or without proteinuria. AKI, placental abruption and metabolic acidosis can also be seen. Recommended investigations include a CBC count, LFT, KFT, platelet count. In CBC report we have to see because the diagnosis is based on Tennessee's criteria. And peripheral blood smear, we can look for the Burr cells, schistocytes and the helmet cells, and serum electrolytes are also checked. And because the most common presentation is a right upper quadrant pain or an abdominal pain, so we can advise a USG whole abdomen, in which we have to rule out a hepatic hematoma, placental abruption and other causes of acute pain in the abdomen. Liver biopsy is not recommended, but if done it can demonstrate fibrin deposition in the periportal area and the hepatic sinusoids. There is periportal hemorrhage, subcapsular hemorrhage, hepatic cell necrosis. Management includes magnesium sulfate administration and antihypertensive, and the termination of pregnancy is based on the gestational age. Usually we have to terminate the pregnancy irrespective of the gestational age, and if the gestational age is more than 34 weeks, then we have to terminate the pregnancy after initial stabilization. But if the pregnancy is less than 34 weeks and there is rising serum creatinine levels, there is pulmonary edema, hepatic bleeding, fetal distress, DIC and abruption, which is the most common complication of HELLP syndrome. If none of these is present, then we have to administer the dexamethasone and wait for 48 hours for dose completion. Then we can terminate the pregnancy after initial stabilization. And if any one of the following is present, then we don't have to wait for fetal lung maturity through steroids. We have to terminate it immediately. If the platelet count is less than 20,000, then platelet administration is recommended. Mode of delivery is vaginal. Cesarean section is just like preeclampsia, that is only done in case of obstetric indications. And after vaginal delivery, we have to repeat the labs of the patient. Markers, platelet count, liver enzymes may worsen for the initial 48 hours. Recurrence rate is around 7% for HELLP syndrome, and 18% patients can develop preeclampsia in the next pregnancy.